Okay. I think we're on. Let's see. I'm gonna see if I can get some people, you know, probably do it on my desktop instead of my phone. Right. Let's see. See if I can share this. So far, I'm talking to myself. Where do I enter? So if I'm quiet, at least you can see my face. Okay. Yay. Okay. I tweeted it. Right. I can see myself. I've never done this before, so I'm a bit nervous. As you can see, the lighting here is fantastic, and I look really tired. Okay. Nobody's hanging out with me yet, but that's okay. This will go up on my channel later, so other people can watch it. I don't wear makeup like ever, apart from a little bit of trying to think of the right words, liquid blusher under my eyes, and as you can see, it works really well. I think if I had a light like right here above my head, then maybe I'll be alright. I don't think I'm even actually quite as red as I look. It's just the lighting in here. It's weird. The darkness, should I say. I'm not used to sitting on camera anymore. I had a dream the other day about pizza. I've never dreamed about pizza before. I mean, Domino's. Eating Domino's, and it was free. So somehow, for some reason, I got a free pizza. It was really weird. And I haven't looked up what it means. I'm sure it means something really bizarre, like I absolutely adore pizza, which I do. And I have this book. It's a really old book. That's quite informative. I've been meaning to look up what it means, but I haven't done yet. So just for fun, I'll do it now because I'm still talking to myself, I think. How can they not have pizza as a separate category? Oh my god. It's just a shame. Right. I don't have food either. What kind of book is that? I have just one story to read for you. I did want to have more, but I just haven't. It just hasn't happened. And this is a story that a subscriber has sent me. I'm not used to doing live things. Can't even. How do you see the comments? And I hope you can actually hear me because I've got my volume quite low. Well, it's louder. Okay. Well, I'm going to carry on anyway. So, this is a glitch in the Matrix story. By the way, it's the best kind. When I was around 13, my parents decided I should do something more productive with my weekend than go to the library and draw. Too young to work, I found a volunteering position at an animal shelter the next town over. I woke up every Saturday and Dad would drive me half an hour to the shelter. There I would walk, wash and feed the dogs for 3 hours. 3 kids also volunteered there and after my first Saturday began talking to me. I was very excited to make friends outside of school. There were 5 long-term resident terriers, the kind that are tan on top and brown on the bottom, who were very poorly behaved and apparently had come to the shelter because their owner died. I would always have to comb matted poop out of their fur and endure their frantic barking. I got the idea to name them the Terrors, and the other kids and I made up nicknames for each one. Jack became Jack the Ripper, and so forth. After 3 Saturdays of volunteering, I had to skip a day for a family event. The next Saturday I was very sick, but I came up with a good terrier nickname. I was excited to share it. Bloody Mary. The following Saturday, my dad drove me to the shelter. It was very quiet when I knocked on the door. The old lady answered and asked what I wanted. I checked the time, 5 minutes before 8 as usual, and said I was here to volunteer. She asked what I wanted to do. I thought she was mad at me for missing 2 days and asking questions that would lead to a lecture. I did my duties. She stared at me suspiciously and asked my name. At this, I actually stepped back and looked to make sure I was in the right place. I have a very rare name and never met anyone else with the same one, so it was strange that she would forget me. And what's more, she didn't recognize it when I told her. We stared at each other until she reluctantly allowed me in. The 3 kids were gone. The terrors were gone. Only 2 dogs were in the whole shelter. In an uncomfortable half hour, I did my regular duties while the women stared at me full of anger and suspicion. I never went back. On the trip home, my dad joked uncomfortably about how I have my mother's glare and that I made the woman accept my volunteering. I was so upset and genuinely thought I had somehow gone to the wrong place, or she was so mad at me that she acted like she forgot who I was. Through an adult's eyes, I can see a child acting like that, but not an adult. The terriers might have been sent to a rescue since they were purebred, but where were the other children? And what was that lady's problem? So, There we go. I don't know if it's better to live stream like this where you can see my face, or whether I should do what most of the other horror narrators do and just have a thing with the you know what I mean, yeah, avatar on it. And I don't have anyone else to hang out with, but at least it works. It's actually quite easy. So there you go. I think I'm still talking to myself, but I hope you enjoy that story as much as I did. Anyway, I'm going to post this later, so I mean, it's going up on my channel afterwards so other people can enjoy it. I was hoping we might get 1 or 2 people in here and have any questions, you know. Otherwise, I'm just talking to myself. So, how's your Saturday going? Mine's all right. I'm quite tired though. I'm quite tired though now. Sound like from a long time ago. Thou hast had a lovely Saturday. Yeah. And I'm not used to doing this anymore. Live streaming is fun, but only if there's people to with you and stuff. I wish I had more stories. I could make one up for you just randomly off the top of my head. I don't know how scary it'd be. I used to be good at doing that. Okay. Sally was alone in the house. She knew she was the only one there. And it was nighttime. She was just relaxing in bed, watching a movie on TV. And the rest of the house was silent. And then she heard the floorboards creak out in the hallway outside her bedroom. And she lowered the volume on the TV to make sure she wasn't just imagining it. And the sound reminded her, it brought to mind what it would sound like if somebody was slowly walking up and down the hall. She was so disturbed, she got up and went out to look in the hallway, but of course there was nobody there. And as soon as she stepped into the bedroom doorway, the sound stopped. She brushed it off and went back to watching the film. And almost as soon as she turned the volume up on the TV again, the sound returned. And she was starting to get creeped out because she couldn't figure out what it was. As far as she knew, Sally didn't live in a haunted house, so she couldn't work out what it was. She tried to calm herself down and said to herself that she was just overtired. She was imagining it was the pipes squeaking, or some rational explanation. And after a few minutes, the footsteps stopped all by themselves. And they were replaced by what sounded like voices coming from downstairs. So again, Sally turned off the film and got up to go and check. she started to think, well, maybe there was an intruder in the house or something, and it wasn't just her imagination. They were real person walking outside the hallway. Excuse me. So she cautiously ventured downstairs. And as she was going down the stairs, she realised it sounded like more than one person. Like their whispering voices were having a conversation. But she couldn't make out any words. And when Sally got downstairs and she looked around, there was nobody there. But the whispering voices continued, and every time she was in one room, they sounded like they were coming from the next room. So Sally got the vodka out of the cupboard and poured herself a drink to settle her nerves, because she was really freaked out at this point. And she tried to return to the film. And eventually, she got so drunk that she was at the point where she didn't really care about the creepy stuff that was still going on in the house. She was just out of it, and she went to sleep. But she didn't sleep soundly. Her dreams were plagued by images of there being a dark figure in her bedroom. It felt like a male figure, and it felt negative and oppressive, and it was whispering things, but she couldn't make out what it was saying. But it sounded, it sounded negative. What's the word? It sounded not angry, but I hate it when my vocabulary fails me. Not angry, but like you don't want the person there with you. Sounded the voice sounded sort of like that, but she couldn't make out what it was saying. She thought it was just a really bad dream. But the next morning when she woke up, she felt really tired, like she'd hardly slept. And for the first few seconds after she opened her eyes, she could swear she saw the dark figure from her dream standing in the corner of her room. But then in the blink of an eye, it was gone, and she thought she was just imagining it. And she was very unnerved. So she slept on her friend's sofa for the next couple of nights. And then when she went home, again, eventually, there was nothing wrong. And she thought she was just going crazy. And then one night, while she was asleep, she dreamed about the black oppressive figure again. And she dreamed that he was inside her full length mirror that was fixed on the wall. She dreamt that he was inside there, like he was her reflection. And he was reaching out of the mirror, and he was trying to touch her. And she was terrified, because he was radiating negative energy, and she just wanted to keep away from him. And then she woke up in a terrible sweat. And the dreams continued like that. And then eventually, in one dream, he was still inside the mirror trying to reach her. He touched her. He grabbed her by the wrists, and he pulled her into the mirror. And the next morning, Sally's friend came around our house, because they'd arranged to go shopping together. That was the weekend. but there was no answer at the door. She went round the back because she knew that Sally kept her spare key hidden under a plant pot by the back garden, so she let herself in and looked all around the house, but Sally wasn't there. Her bed looked like it had been slept in. The covers were all messed up. It was like she'd been there, but somehow she wasn't there anymore. The only other sign that anything was amiss was that there was a strange outline on her full-length mirror, like the outline of a person, but it was sort of ghost-like, almost like it had been scratched into the glass. And Sally was never seen again. There you go. I guess that's kind of creepy. I just made that story up off the top of my head, literally. Well, there's a couple more people in here. Hello. Thank you. Well, I don't know what else to do. I could probably make up another story. That was actually a bit creepy. Like I might creep myself out. I need to have a drink of water. This is my flask. It's very noisy. I think I'll need some vodka to settle my nerves after that. I like telling scary stories, but that's not one that someone else has made up, you know. I'm glad it's not completely dark outside, as you can see from behind me the outline around the edge of the wood. It's still daylight. Oh, I know what else to say now. Yeah, I think we all need a drink after that. I'm just looking for inspiration over there. I've never live streamed, and unfortunately I didn't come prepared with many stories. I can probably do better next time. It's probably my vocabulary has failed me again. I think I'm just tired, that's what it is. And when you get to a certain level of tiredness, your brain just melts and you know what you want to say, but you just can't get it out. Just get part of the words out. So it's a bad time to do this. I mean, I felt right up until, I don't know, an hour or two ago. Disconcerting, that's probably an appropriate word. It's probably a bit disconcerting because I keep looking off to the side. There's nobody there, I'm just like staring at the wall. Oh, Victor's in the military and he's not allowed to drink. I'm sorry about that. I don't actually have any alcohol anyway, so I can't drink either. Because I just generally don't drink. I don't think I've had a drink since New Year's. That's about the only time I drink alcohol. Any significant party event, I will have something. So if I did have a drink, I would get really drunk really fast. Because I don't drink, I'm such a lightweight. If I ever video chatted with anybody, this is probably what it would be like. I would just be sitting here very quietly. I'm good at sitting quietly. I had to make up another story just to something to do. And this is my live stream. No. I think I'm too creeped down by the first one. Let's talk about rainbows and butterflies and unicorns. Lots of girly stuff. I grew up with My Little Pony and the Care Bears, and they're still around. It means they've got good longevity. But I don't have girls. So my boys I've got boys, so they're quite embarrassed anytime I talk about My Little Pony or Care Bears. They're like, oh my god, please just no, stop. It's so embarrassing. But it means I get to watch all the better films with them, like Transformers. I mean, people probably have varying views on that, but especially the first one, I thought that was really good. I liked the military aspect of it. I don't know why that appealed to me. I should probably keep the stream quite short since I don't really have a lot to say. Could have planned better, so I apologise for that. But it's good practice, and that next time I will have live streamed before. So yay. There is a creepypasta that I am writing at the moment. I do it the old-fashioned way, I'll handwritten, and this is what I've written, like half a page of it. But just for fun, I'll read you what I've written so far, and you can tell me how creepy it is. I mean, it's very, very short. Hasn't even got a title. I wake up with the creepy sounds of Fatal Frame ringing in my ears and realise that I've fallen asleep at the PlayStation again. Opening my eyes, I sit up and look around the room. However, instead of being greeted by my bedroom interior, I find myself gazing upon the familiar, ancient, peeling wallpaper and antique furnishings that adorn a bedroom inside one of the houses in the lost village of Fatal Frame 2, Crimson Butterfly. Haunting moans of the many departed spirits that reside here create a chilling backdrop. This can't be real. The sounds of the closet door across the room sliding open catches my attention, and I watch it wide-eyed. Defying logic, the door slowly slips open, seemingly by itself, and then a pale female figure emerges, her attention immediately focusing on me. Of course, it's very, very short, but that's all I've written so far. So I can probably make that really good, but I need to focus time and energy into that. And if you've no idea what Fatal Frame is, you're missing out. That's also known as Project Zero. And I love those games. I've only beaten the first one though. It's very satisfying, but the second one, I can't beat the endgame boss. It's just, I've tried several times. Just one of those things. But apart from that, it's really fun. I think I like the second game better because, I mean, of course, if you've never played them, never heard of the games, you don't know what I'm talking about. But I like the second game better. The first game, you're just in this one house. In the second game, you're in an entire village. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the setup is generally you're this Japanese girl, and there's this magic camera, and when you take a photo with it of like a ghost, it somehow captures their energy, so the spirit, the lifeblood of the ghost, and it gets pulled into the camera. And if you take enough pictures of the ghost with the camera, the ghost sort of stops existing, if you like. Its energy is drawn into the camera, and that's how you fight them in the game. It's loads of fun, but very scary. So, and there's good storylines too. So in the first one, you're just in this house, and it's a very big house. But in the second one, you're in a whole village. You have to go around all these houses, and the end game boss is deep underground, and it's so bad. Like, one touch from her and you're dead just instantly. Well, that's perhaps the hardest thing about it. To beat her, you have to dance around her without getting touched and taking photos at the most opportune moments to draw her power away. And so I haven't beaten that yet. It's disappointing. I think I might give up. So I've tried several times. It's just, I don't want to give up. I want to beat it, but no. And there was, I don't know, I keep looking over there. I'm sorry, there's nobody there. I'm just staring at the wall. I think it was the third game, maybe a fourth. I don't know, but I love it. The Japanese seem to have a gift for doing really scary things. I mean, if you ever watched a Japanese horror film, you know what I'm talking about. It's so scary. That's what's good about it. I mean, The Ring is a good example. I think the original, where the origins of that story came from, is from a Japanese version of the film. Hello, how do you say that, Mr. Svub? I don't know, Mr. S. Hello. Thank you for coming. I keep looking around me. I think I used to do that before I started doing narrating stories, and when I did videos like this, I would just look around constantly, looking for a distraction or inspiration. I don't know. I think that's what I'm looking for, inspiration, ideas, something else to say. I think I had an idea fleetingly in my mind. Well, next time I shall certainly come prepared with more stories. I don't know how many people are going to watch the recording of this after the live stream is over, but I should probably take this opportunity to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed to me, for subscribing. I'm glad you like my content and you think and you like me enough that you want to keep coming back. I really appreciate that. I don't know how many people have even stayed with me since closer to the beginning of my channel, because when I started, I didn't really know what I was about. I just started doing videos, and it was very sporadic, but it was a learning experience. It was fun. When I left a lot of my old stuff up on my channel, sorry, my nose is itchy. I just keep rubbing it, because it shows where I came from, if you like, the beginning, where I started. And even though I've taken a lot of the old stuff off, I've left a lot up there as well. It's like a progression, if anybody's ever interested. I've been doing the stories for less time, but I've been writing stories for a lot of my life. So before I started following the horror narrators, I never realized that connected those two things together, like YouTube and storytelling. It just didn't really seem to go together, but I'm glad it does, because it's fun. Sorry, perhaps I should creep you out. I should not say there's nobody over there. It's just what I should say, that there's somebody standing in the corner watching me. That would probably be creepy, wouldn't it? And then I should do either a jump scare or just some really creepy thing where I just disappear and then the live stream stops. That would be scary, wouldn't it? If I ever want to prank you guys, I shall have to keep that in mind. I don't really do like pranks or anything, but if I'm ever feeling like it, I shall remember that. How long have I been live streaming? Probably close to half an hour. No, there's nobody behind me. I don't know why I keep looking over there. It would be interesting if I did have the lights on, actually, because then I wonder if any orbs would show up. The first time I used my webcam, it was facing the other way, facing the wall behind where it is now. And it was like in daylight. The first time I was trying to film a video talking about the Pokemon Go, you know, the little digi thing which you can have on your wrist, or I can't remember what it's called. But hopefully you know what I'm talking about. I was doing a video about that, unboxing one of those things just for fun. And the weirdest thing happened. Partway through the recording, it just stopped all by itself. So I turned it back on to finish up what I was saying because, you know, I wanted to finish it. But later when I looked at it, the first part of the recording it had recorded, but the video was corrupted. It couldn't play it. And I didn't understand what happened. And then after that, I turned my webcam on just for fun. And I got orbs several times. It was fascinating. And it seemed like they were very interested in my computer, because especially after that first one with the Pokemon Go Plus thing, it was the orb was focused on my computer. I think during the first part of the video that is unwatchable, that there was, like, I could see out of the corner of my eye on the webcam, like in the bottom corner or something, there was like an orb either going towards my computer or coming away from it. It was probably going towards. It was like the spirits playing with my computer, because it's, you know, they're so fascinated with electronics and they can affect them. So yeah, I think that was a spirit affecting my computer, which was fun. And then after that, they just sort of played around in the background. In future recordings, you could see them just sort of, you know, sometimes you had to have a sharp eye. The videos are still up on my channel. So if I had the lights on, I would look even more tired, I think. But it would be interesting to see whether from this angle they would show, or whether it's just on the back wall there, whether they have. I don't know. I haven't really recorded anything in front of my webcam for a long time, apart from my intro. Mr. S says, I read some creepypasta about the demonic male stripper. Wow. That doesn't sound like things that really go together. I mean, I guess in fantasy anything goes, like literally anything, but that's weird. A demonic male stripper, would that makes me think of succubi in a way, because demons, I don't know, they just want to wreak havoc. Male strippers, I don't know how they come into it, but succubi about sex, they're negative, demonic energy beings, aren't they? They just want to suck the life out of you somehow. I don't know how that connects to male strippers. There's probably, if it hasn't already been done, there is probably a creepypasta in that somewhere, but it will be a very weird one, I think. It's slowly getting darker outside. Well, since I don't have much to say, I think I'm going to end this now. I hope it's been entertaining, even though I haven't had very much to say. And thank you for the few people that have tuned in. And oh, I don't know when I live stream again, but I've done it once now. I've got that experience. I'm not a live stream. See, I'm so tired I can't even talk about it. I'm not a live stream virgin anymore. Hooray! So, goodbye.